Another day, another hat, more glasses, same book. Okay. I'm looking a bit business-like today because I'm in a business-like mood. Um, we got the statement from Boris Johnson last night. We got his speech, lots of passion in it, lots of table thumping and all the rest of it. But nobody's any wiser. So everybody's now perhaps a little bit more confused than they were before. And are we allowed out? Are we not allowed out? Can we go back to work? Are we not allowed back to work? So with lots of confusion still, and this whole thing about business, the way we do business in the future, sort of reminded me of an experience I had not long after I published my book. Okay, my book, where is it? Okay, the book is about my spiritual awakening and how it affected me and how it changed my ways of thinking about things, and the whole philosophy behind spiritual behavior and spiritualism, and the way we apply them into daily life. And amongst that awakening, I was told that the world will awaken, the whole population will awaken. It's going to be a global awakening, and it's coming, and we need to be aware of different ways of doing things and different ways of planning. And the story is that I come from a sort of business background, so in the motor trade. And I know other business people as well. And I was asked to go and talk about my book in front of a local business group. So I said, yeah, because you do, don't you? We do daft things sometimes. So I turned up, and I'm in a room, and there's all business people in the room. So the usual hard-faced, we deal with business. So all the usual expressions, and something I'm used to because I've done that before. I've had to go and give briefings, meetings, talks, bring out new initiatives to staff and employees and customers, and standing up in front of people is not for everybody, and it is quite daunting. Now, this was quite daunting for me simply because here I am in front of a load of hard-headed business people who want to know about business, and I'm going to stand up and talk to them about a book about how this amazing spiritual awakening with all kinds of spooky and weird stuff going on, and things that I couldn't explain and still can't explain, and the sort of things that you would freak most people out. So I was given a 15-minute time slot to do my speech. I hadn't got a clue what I was going to talk about. I was just going to let it roll and see what happened. So I stood up, and I saw all the faces. And all the faces were, we're business people. We want you to tell us something inspirational about business. Okay. And I must admit, my first thought was, what am I doing? These people, they don't want to know about freaky stuff and spirits and whatever. But what happened was I started talking, and as I was talking, what I was becoming aware of was that as much as my mind has been changed into these kind of new ways of thinking, I actually started talking about new ways of working creatively. And the message was coming across that we need to move away from traditional ways of working and managing staff, and we need to work more from the heart and away from the head. So we need to come out of this 9-to-5 society where people clock in at 9 o'clock, they clock out at 5 o'clock, and if you're a minute late, you get docked your wages. And some of the ideas, I can't remember all of them now because it was a few years ago, but some of the ideas were along the lines of what we're doing at the moment. So there were the ideas of working from home, because these were managers, these were owners of businesses. Is it possible that you could alleviate some of the pressure in the office by allowing people to work from home? Could you stagger the shifts? Could you give more incentives to the staff, make them feel better valued? Can you make it more of a family atmosphere? Can you become more of a team? Can you develop this? And I know a lot of work is done, especially by major corporations, spend millions on team motivation exercises and things like that. But these were ideas, and I could see the looks in the faces, and they were looking at me as if to say, it'd never work. You wouldn't get it to work in the modern world. The modern world is about business. We do business. And the more I looked at them, the more I thought, this is so alien to a lot of people. They just don't understand this. Now, I was given a 15-minute time slot, and I actually spoke about this for 40 minutes. And eventually, the chair of the meeting had to say, as interesting as this is, I'm going to have to stop you because we're coming to the end of the time and we've still got other things to do. So they finished off the meeting, and then I was swamped by people, these hard-headed business people. They wanted to know more. How can we put these into practice? How can we do this? I sold some books on the back of it. And like I say, I can't remember all these ideas now because they're just second nature to me, the way I think. And what's developed from this shutdown is a lot of these ideas that are now taken as being the new way, the new future, like working from home, staggering shifts, not crowding the office. They're things that I'm thinking, hang on a minute, I was talking about that years ago. Now, I'm not an expert business leader or a visionary person, but what it's shown me is that through that awakening, I was given a lot of stuff and told a lot of stuff about the way the world is going to be. What they didn't tell me is we were going to have this massive pandemic and major shutdown of everything. So, I'm as wise as you are about the virus and the pandemic and all the rest of it. But coming out of this, then there is a new way of working. There's a new way of thinking. We're going to get through this, and we're going to get through it stronger. And we're going to benefit from all the things that seem like a trial at the moment, but we will benefit. And we're going to have a more caring. I keep saying heart-centered. It's got to come from the heart. But that's the way we're going to be in the future. And once we get rid of some of the authoritarianism that's going on at the moment, and let's start living life for the good of the people and not for the good of the authorities. So there you go.